Good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Chi. I am the co-founder and the CEO for HIT Foundation, Health Information Traceability. We're a blockchain-based health tech company out of Switzerland, offering a mobile solution to enable individuals to mobilize your health data. So as we are a non-US company, I'm obliged to display this disclaimer for your knowledge and information. So first of all, I would love to share with you a personal story. I have actually been in the high-tech space for the last 20 over years, working in the US, Asia Pacific, and Europe, Middle East, and Africa. 2.5 years ago, my mom had severe cancer, and I almost lost her because of the way data was or wasn't shared. How many of you know of your friends or have family members, etc., who have got cancer? Anyone here? Yes. And how many of you have had the frustration whereby if you move states, between states in the US, your data is not transferred, your health data, your health records are not transferred, and that maybe you or your family members or your friends are made to retake the same test that you did. Could be last week or could be last month. Have you had such an experience? Yeah, we do have a few here, right? And that was what happened with my mother. Had I not had the financial ability to actually pull her out of one jurisdiction and place her into the next, she could have been further misdiagnosed, experimented on, and I could have lost her way too early. So that's where I come from, where I decided to quit my cushy corporate job. So I was 11 years in Microsoft, and then I decided I'm going to take the plunge. I wanted to go in search of a health tech solution that could actually enable our vision here, which is to support more equitable and sustainable healthcare, enabled by shareable data, with you and I, us, the individuals. So not just patients, but healthy individuals right back at the center of care. So I'm sure a lot of you have run into very similar challenges as individuals with today's problems with health data. One of the key things, now, we're not saying that centralization is a bad thing. However, what is really challenging that's not in our benefit is that business models are based on data monopolization. If you are Bayer and I'm Novartis, we're never ever going to share data. And what does that mean? It actually means that they only have a very, very minute subset data of you. How can they be actually really going towards, working towards transformative breakthrough in medical research for you and I? Probably not. And the lack of consent. Need I say more? A lot of us actually take our mid-term to long-term rights to our data. We compromise that for short-term convenience. So whenever you download an app to your mobile phone, you probably have to click accept and agree. How many of you actually take the time to read through every single term and condition? Anyone? Me neither, because it's a convenience. And when you're at a hospital, sometimes you may see a little small chat box if you're admitted at a hospital that says that, do you consent to your data being used for research? And we all are good citizens. We say, hey, why not? Let's help research. That was in good faith. But many of you do not actually know that your data is being sold, resold, etc. The recent case with 23andMe and GSK $300 million investment. So you think that you're paying 23andMe to do a test kit of your ancestry. But then why is it that your data further monetized or remonetized, etc., without your real consent? That is where I think we can actually do it in a fairer and more transparent way. You, the individual, and I, we actually get nothing out of the data we have actually created. Last but not least, there are no incentives. When we are healthy, 95% of the lifetime, okay, do we actually care where our data is sitting, our health data? Actually, no. In developed countries like the US, like Switzerland, we take it for granted. It's somewhere there. So we don't actually care about it. But at 5% of the time when you're sick, that's where it's too late. How many of you actually know where your health data is sitting? And how many of you actually know how to mobilize your health data? Great, that's good for you. There are very health-conscious individuals and who actually keep track of it, and you do, and I congratulate you for that. But a majority of them actually don't. Lastly, any of you are using any health apps here? Apple Watch or like your Fitbit, etc. Great. Now the thing is, how on the ball are you? How consistent are you using that? Very good for you. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, but the thing is this. There are lots of health apps flooding the market since 2010, okay? And you see that the way it's being adopted is gone up really high in the first 2 weeks, but then it dies down. Why? Because there are no incentives. Or certain health programs actually encourage you to run 10,000 steps, and in return, you get some bonus points to do something very specific. Such that, okay, you can order something healthy. But let's be practical. Why do you exercise? Some of you exercise to feel good, to keep fit, to be healthy. But do you want to be restrained from buying a Coke when you really feel like drinking a Coke? Probably not. Most of us, we exercise so that we can eat what we want, we can continue to stay and maintain our figure, whatever you call it. But the key is that you as the individual, you need to have that flexibility, that option to be able to think about how you want to be rewarded and use it. So with all that in mind, our mission is actually empower you, the individual, okay, to digitize and maintain and also mobilize your health data. You know as and when you need to, you know how to actually mobilize your health data and get it when you need it. And we also want to take care of the other side of the equation in the entire healthcare system, whereby we want to continue to support highly innovative health tech, life sciences, medical companies to come into market in the research space, and also to continue to drive patient-centric approaches. We know that data is the currency, is the new blood of the future. We hope to be able to use our mobile solution to help you to tokenize your own health information and, most importantly, mobilize it and use it to your benefit. What's the market potential? $536 billion by 2025 in connected health market. And out of that, the United States takes 38%. Asia and Europe takes the other 52%. Currently, our focus is looking a little bit more towards Asia because 51% of the population actually sits in Asia. The other thing that we want to share about is to also help the other 3.8 billion people, that's half the world's population, that lack access to essential health services. We would like to use our mobile solution to actually enable more social inclusion as well as financial inclusion. So our solution is very simple. Behind it is running on the blockchain. However, that is not the main thing. The key is that our mobile solution actually enables you to mobilize your health data from various sources, and that the data ownership sits with you, the individual, or with the provider you already have an established trusted relationship with in accordance to local laws and jurisdiction. The data transfer is direct, is transparent, simple, and secure to ensure that your identity is not compromised. So we don't store any data, we don't have any central database. The info seeker defines the query, it gets beamed over the network, and it's gated by the metadata that's on your app. And when it applies to you, you see the query and you decide that, okay, who's asking for what data, for what purpose, for how long, and in return, how are they going to reward you for it? To be very key that we don't store any PII data, there are no health data on our blockchain system. This ensures that we're fully compliant with HIPAA and GDPR. So these are a couple of benefits to you as individuals. Again, smart consent, transparent, traceability, and you can remain anonymous. This is our product roadmap. Currently, right now, we're building our MVP, and we'll be launching mid-September, where we'll be doing a couple of pilots for the next 6 months, concurrently in Europe and in Asia. We're still currently looking for partners to do pilots with us along the way.